Okay. Now, a question also asked by a lot of people is, I make everything real. Yeah, it's true. As long as you don't know what is real, you'll make everything real. But why? Feel it out. Why do we make everything real to us? Because we don't know what is real. Because there's a part in us that wants what is real. And that part in us is the reality. So the reality is always wanting what is real. So if a thought comes, we make it real. If an emotion comes, we make it real. If an experience happens, we make it real. And we act, to us, it is real. So whatever is happening to us is real. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we really believe that they are going by, instead of just a circle and names that we've given to a motion of energy. Because another thing that Einstein discovered too is that light does not move in a straight line. It moves curved. You know this. You probably studied this scientifically, so I'm not saying something you don't already know. But what it also means, it's curved, it means that everything is a circle. You see? Everything returns back to where it started and it starts over again. So all evolution is a circle. All time is a circle. The clock going round and round, 12, 1 o'clock, and then we'll go back again. You see, the seasons, the earth rotating around the sun, creating the calendar, weeks, months, years, etc. Okay? But everything is a circle. Everything is a repetition, never ending, but the repetition is always new. You see, and that is when we get back to the source, because the source is always, but it's ever new in its alwaysness. You see? For example, I'm talking now, and you've heard these words before. In fact, the mind says, oh, I know it because I heard it. You see? But at the same time, every word is new. Just like every breath is new. Every snowflake is new. Every drop of rain is new. Every moment is new. Yet within that newness is a perpetuating, yeah. Okay? So why? Because the duality, the two opposites, are one. They never separate one from another. And until we understand that, another thing too, we talk about the human and the being, which is so beautiful to understand. The human is totally opposite the being. But one thing that we always say, they're two sides of the same coin. They're opposites. But until we integrate them, until we see them as one, we cannot know love. People say, I'm so angry at myself. I love everybody, but I'm angry at myself. Well, first of all, that's a game. You cannot be angry at yourself and not be angry at other people. Okay? Another thing also is that when you, what we call the oneness, is that you accept your humanness in its totality. And when you accept your humanness totally, with all its limitation and everything, that the acceptance itself is the love unfolding. If there's a part of you that you do not accept, even minutely, you cannot love. And if you cannot love you cannot love, period. Because you've created a gap, you see? And that gap only exists because... thank you. And that gap keeps existing because of the two-ness that we have created. Human and being. Oh, I see, you talk about the human and the being. I've got the lower part and I've got the being part. No, no, no. They're both one. They're both the same. You might say, but how can it be the same when one is always becoming and moving and, and the other one just is? That's right. That's right. That's exactly it. Without, take one from the other. How can you understand the other? Do you understand? It's not possible. It is the being that is acting out as the human. And then you might say, this means that whenever I have a fear, it is the being that's causing the fear?
No.
Well,
Isn't the being projecting it?
The being is projecting it. And it is interpreted as fear. You see the difference? For example, the being is vast, incredibly vast, unendingly vast. It is, in fact, it is infinite. If the human does not know the source of itself as this vastness, it thinks only it's so limited. When it feels this vastness, it feels lost. And it calls it loneliness. You see? So loneliness is the being saying, you are vast. But what happens when you think you are vast? You go into an incredible fear. You see? Incredible fear. That's what we fear. The vastness that has no limit. We can't conceive it because the mind, being so limited, can't conceive of unlimited space, of infinite space. But the infinite is always talking to us. And it comes out in a language that we do not understand, and so we interpret it with our conditioning. And that's what is happening all the time. It is the being that gives you what you call fear. It doesn't give you fear. Fear is our interpretation. You see? It gives you loneliness. As a matter of fact, you'll find that people who are very physical, and they never question anything or think about anything, they're usually quite happy. Did you ever see very primitive people, village people? You know, nothing bothers them. It is only when you start thinking and start involving that you start becoming depressed and lonely and everything else. You see? That's kind of a stage. And then from there, from the self-conscious stage, when you start looking at it and understanding it, you go deeper. So we go to this part, we're always seeking what is real, because it's coming from being. You see? It's making us want what is real. And then we make what is real everything that we experience. Can we help it? No way. We cannot help that. You see? We're making it real because a part of us is crying out for what is real. I've been hurt by that person. Yes, it's real. I have a right to be like this. I have a right to feel this loneliness or this pain. You see? We want to make it real. And the reason we want to make it real because without making something real, we feel empty, we feel void, which of course in truth we are. So we cling to anything in order to make it real because we don't know what the real is. Now, when we begin to see the real, then everything becomes relative and we're no longer caught. You see? In thoughts, emotions, people's ideas of us, the world, what's going on. It is just what is going on. It really doesn't matter, you see? And so once you find that pearl, that essence, that light, that being,